Hello, everyone. Welcome to Life Without Limits, where there are no limits to what you can achieve. My name is Joan Kaler. I'm the host of this interesting podcast. I am an international speaker, trainer, and consultant around the world, teaching people how to get unstuck, helping people remove all their blocks to success. That's what I love to do. Today's show is very special. Today, I have an extremely successful businessman, Mr. Dan McPherson. Now, let me tell you a little bit about him and then share some interesting information before I bring him on. So Dan McPherson has cultivated more than 20 years of leadership and team development experience to create a strong leaders must lead mindset. Okay. Dan has held leadership positions in top ranked manager in the retail industry and in retail sales and business. This has led him to become a student of all aspects of personal and leadership development, as well as positive organizational growth. This man knows how to lead. Okay. Dan is a great communicator and has helped many leaders accomplish more than they thought possible. He has passion for stepping out to lead people and helps them impact their lives and businesses. And on a personal note, I have gotten to know Dan over the last few weeks because we are both going to be speaking at the Freedom Summit Global in the Philippines. And he's going to go on to speak at other Asian cities as well. So without further ado, let me bring in Dan. Okay, we're going to promote Dan to a panelist in just a moment here. Here is the attendee. Here's Dan McPherson. Promote to panelist. Okay, and he will be coming to join us shortly. Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay, Dan, please check your mic. You can hear me. I can't hear you.
There we are.
Wonderful.
No limits other than those given by the mute button.
Hi, Dan. Welcome in.
Hi, thank you. I am excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this conversation. You have quickly become one of my favorite people, and I love getting to connect.
Oh, this is so exciting. He is so humble. He is so modest, and he is so powerful and smart. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, wait till you hear this. Dan, tell everyone listening and watching a little bit about your humble beginnings, because this is what I think is so fascinating about you.
You know, it's only recently that I've begun speaking about, I guess, really a lot of my past, because my focus is so much on doing what I can to help others that I have really, I think, tried to shift the focus off of me. But I've recognized in the last probably 6 months or so, just the power of our own stories, the power of where we come from. And one of the things that I like to say is that I'm living proof that while your environment may exert influence, that your choices create change. And I grew up in a pretty crazy environment. I grew up, I was hidden from my father for 6 years when I was younger. My mother and I were super poor after that. And we grew up, I remember not having any food to eat, and we'd have half a hot dog and she'd give it to me and she'd go hungry. And then later on, I had stepbrothers and sisters and other extended family members who were pretty heavily involved in drugs and violence and prostitution and a bunch of other fun and exciting things. And I would just say that through it all, while it was very difficult to me in the moment, I've just had a drive to make a difference in the world. And I believe that if you make choices to create change, you end up in a good place.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. You chose a different life. You said, I am not having a life like this. I'm going to do something amazing. I'm going to help people. So even though you had such struggle at an early age, you have risen above all that to create a major force in business.
I appreciate that. I like to say when teams have reported to me and they would come and they would say, "Hey, I'm really having this struggle," I would empathize with them and connect because their story matters. And I would also remind them that everyone has a story, and everyone's pain points are a little bit different. They may look different than mine, but that doesn't make them any less real. That doesn't make them any less powerful, and it doesn't make them any less impactful in terms of how they shape their lives. So I love to get together and talk about and learn other people's stories. That's one of the reasons I love sitting with my clients so much.
Wow. Well, tell us why you founded Leaders Must Lead. What is that all about?
Well, so it's I guess there are a couple of directions that I come at it from. There's the personal drive to make an impact and to believe that I have a responsibility to give back what's been given to me. My mother made so many sacrifices for me, and unfortunately, due to major medical issues and a number of other things, she passed when I was pretty young. I was in my mid-20s,
Mm.
and she gave up the world for me. She was probably the smartest person that I've ever known.
Wow.
And she chose not to go to college so that she could take care of me. She chose not to get a better job so that she could take care of me. She chose to make very difficult choices in her life all throughout just so that I would have an opportunity. And I have an immense respect and appreciation for that. And I've always wanted to return that. So I've felt that burden. And I've spent a lot of my life looking for how to do that. I've also been just, I think, looking around and seeing like what is the real fit in the world? What problems aren't being solved that maybe I can help with?
Mhm.
And the third, and then I'll bring them all together. The third is that I went through my career, and I've been very fortunate to have worked in a number of different industries, a number of different companies, from as little as just one or two people to running companies that are a couple $100 million. And I found throughout all of them that I was able to gain a lot of experience. I was able to meet a lot of amazing people, but I was never really happy. I felt restricted in what I could do, and I felt restricted in the impact that I had an opportunity to make on people around the world. So all of that came together in a pretty unique way a couple of years ago when it finally settled with me that either I was going to do something or I had to admit that I wasn't. And that I either had to say I'm going to stay on this path and continue this path of success in business and do all the things that everyone would want, sort of like the people who go buy every house that everybody else thinks they should have and then realize they go back to an apartment. I did that too, by the way, but I realized I needed to do that, and so thanks to a series of great events that all started with a conversation with one of my karate teachers that I am deeply grateful for, I was offered my third promotion in 5 years. I then was, I then asked the question, what would it look like if I declined? I resigned that position, went to zero to start my own company because I wanted to make a difference in people's lives.
Oh my gosh, that took so much courage to do that.
I,
You
I think
literally
I think
stepped
it takes
outside the
courage not
box.
to. It's there. One of the things that the grandmaster at our karate school says that I really like, and there are any number. He's a pretty wise guy. There are any number of things that he says, and one of them is this: that being in whatever state you're in is hard. So if you're going to have it be hard, like not making money is painful and it's hard. Making money can be hard. So if you're going to pick between two, pick the one that you want, right? Make the choice. And so for me, I don't know that I looked at that so much as courage. I know some others have, and I won't tell you that I didn't have some nervous moments when I'm like, I'm going to walk away from the best job I've ever had with a great company that's super secure and step out to nothing. In one sense, that made me nervous, but in another sense, I've never backed away from the right decision, even if it was
Mm.
inconvenient.
Mhm.
I think that if we betray ourselves, we limit our freedoms in the wrong way. And the last thing I would say to that is this: in my experience, we all regret the things that we didn't do, not the things we
Yes.
did.
Yes. So well said. Oh, I think about that in my own life and I think I don't want to have any regrets. which is, we're going to talk about this a little bit later, which is why I'm traveling to Manila, Philippines to,
Yes.
yes, woo, to speak at the Freedom Summit Global. I always want to switch those around a little bit, and we will talk more about that a little bit later. But I want no regrets.
That's awesome.
So I just keep on keeping on. So what you do, you work, tell everybody, you work one-on-one with people, entrepreneurs like myself. You help rebuild businesses. What exactly do you do?
I think when I was growing up, I assumed what I would do is nap whenever I felt like it, and the money would just come pouring in.
Okay.
A number of years ago, we bought my son, or my son and I, we had to get these trees for a karate project that we were working on, and he bought a money tree. And I said,
cool.
and I looked at him, I said, our problems are solved. and ever since then, I keep asking him, where's the money? And he said, it's not on the tree. I said, cool. You're old enough to go get to work now. So if you can help us out, that'd be great. But no, what I do is very different than maybe what I thought it would be. I think when I started this company, I wasn't quite sure what it would look like. I knew I wanted to help. I didn't even really know who I wanted to help. I just knew that everywhere I went, there was need. Everywhere I went, there were a ton of people who were not getting the support they need. And that for whatever reason, whenever I would sit and work with them and train them, that their eyes would light up, the light bulb would come on, and their lives would change. And I think that's not any magic that I have. It's that I've been fortunate to learn so many different things. My biggest gift is probably synthesis from a business standpoint. I can hear from 100 different sources and grab a little piece from each one and create something that's better than any of them. And then the partner gift with that is coaching and training. And so that I can take that and in a simple, connected way, really help people out to see it differently. It's not that I'm better than anyone else. It's just that I understand it in a way that I'm able to share it. And that's the burden that I have. So, oh, thank you so much for that. I would say though that if you ask what I do, here's how I would respond. I would say that now that I understand what Leaders Must Lead is all about, my simple answer is that I help creatives and entrepreneurs create and grow profit and understand that dreams are real. Now, there are ways that I do that, and I can talk about the different ways that I approach it in one-on-one and a group and speaking and all that. Mm-hmm. But fundamentally, it's really about helping all of these people that have been told all their lives that what you do is a nice hobby, but it's not a real job. You should go do something else. You can't charge for that. And by the way, when I say they've been told that, sometimes it's by the little voice in their head. I like to call him Harold. That's what I'll be talking about at the summit, actually. Mm-hmm. And we just beat ourselves down. When I start that talk, the signature talk that I will be sharing there and before, it is about dreams are real, overcoming our own objections to create the life we want. And I start by asking the audience, does anyone here have dreams? And everybody, of course, is yes. But the next question I ask is, are your dreams smaller than they used to be? And 80% of the audience says yes. Wow. And then we talk about why that's true. And more importantly, we talk about how, like you talk about getting people unstuck. We talk about how to get people out of that mindset and into a mindset where they're able to see a great path to get their dreams. I pretty passionately believe that no matter what anyone's passion is, what they're driven to do, whether they're a musician or an artist or a gamer, and I have examples of all of those and more, if they want to do that as a career, that I can help them do it in a way that brings them joy and serves other people and makes them significant profit, because profit isn't a dirty word.
That is so cool. That's why we connect so well together, because I had a dream 150 years ago when I was 15.
I'm sorry, 5 years ago? I got it.
That I wanted to help people. And there's not enough time, plus I don't want to bore everybody, but there was a lot to go through. So I didn't manifest until didn't graduate from Duquesne University with my counseling degree, get licensure, blah, 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 until I was 51. But all along, I had a dream.
Right.
And I knew that I was supposed to do this. I literally bullied my way into doing because my undergraduate grades were horrible. And I said, I have got to come here and become a counselor. You have to let me in.
Right.
So I guess I wore somebody down, but I'm here now. So the rest is history. But I had a dream and I wasn't going to let it go, of helping people. So yes, you help people manifest their dreams as an entrepreneur, as a business person, whatever they need to do. I'm understanding you more and more every day. I help people get unstuck by letting go of their fears, by letting go of their heralds.
Yes. We, at the end of that talk, we have the whole audience stand up and shout, "Shut up, Harold."
I love it. Oh, I can't wait to see that. It'll be so amazing. I want to share your website with the world here. So hold that thought.
For sure. And my shiny new website will be up in just a couple weeks.
Oh, why in the world can't I find the website that I picked up? Oh, I just love this. No, I see what I need to do. Okay, world, thank you for your patience. I need to go here. And then I need to just hold on because I've got another tab here. And then we're going to go over here to Leaders Must Lead. Here we go. Isn't this beautiful? Look at this. Can you see this too?
Yeah.
Dan, okay.
Yes, I can.
Scroll down here.
I feel like I've seen that before.
And this is a terrific website. So you have another one that's coming up.
I do. So this one, I really have liked this website. I've been very proud of it, but I would say that it's a little bit like a vague business card. So it's me. It's about our company and what we do, but it was really early on. What's happened is now I'm very much honed in on exactly who the audience is, exactly what services we're offering.
Okay.
I was able to write a lot more copy. We have a lot of video testimonials and just so many happy clients that we want to share about. And so we, through a great marketing company that I work with, Cade, they're super supportive. They have put this together, and we are within, I believe, days, but certainly not more than a week or so of launching it. And while this is great and there's a lot of good here, there will be that much more good, and it'll be more easily accessible there.
Wow. Is it still going to be the same address, leadersmustlead.com?
It'll be exactly the same address. I own Leaders Must Lead for pretty much everything on social media, web, you name it.
Okay, good. Okay, fantastic. I'm going to stop sharing here, but we're going to come back to.
And I'm glad you stopped right there. I know you're going to stop there. No, I just wanted to say that you stopped on the part that matters most to me, which is what brings joy to my heart is making a difference in people's lives. And I love the fact that my clients are all excited to do written testimonials, video testimonials, talk to clients before I work with them. And they just are ecstatic for the change that's come in their lives. And there's such a crazy wide variety of people. I help people currently in over 15 industries.
Wow.
And I help people from someone who is a hairstylist who doesn't own her own business, but's amazing and has grown in herself and has grown in her position, all the way to my longest term client, Dog Bite Games, who is represented right here in the middle of the page. They began as a $0 company, and this year will do millions of dollars. They were an IT person and an artist who started a company in a small niche making wooden gaming accessories, and now they lead their industry. And I'm so proud of them.
Wow. All right, world. Check it out.
And in the middle is somebody like Nadim Azam, who is an amazing musician. He works in sort of the hip hop arena, but he's really a mix of a couple of different styles, sort of a cross of hip hop and folk. And he does a great job as well. And just working with so many different people has been amazing. So anyway, thanks for stopping on that spot.
Oh, no. My pleasure. I just want to make sure everybody gets a chance to see. All right. So this is the current site, but stay tuned for the updated, amazing, fabulous, spectacular
That's,
new website.
that's right. That's right. It really, the thing is, I laugh, but it really is all of those things. I've seen the previews and I'm giddy
Oh,
with excitement for the
I know.
change.
I love. I'm going to go stop sharing for a moment, but we will come back because I have something else to share with the world here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yay. Gosh. Dan, what do leaders need to know to lead?
It sounds like such a big question, but in many ways, it's a pretty small one. What I like to say to my teams every time I take over a new team, one of the first conversations that I have with them is this: I may have a 3 or 4 page job description or a big long wish list, but none of that matters. My entire job description is boiled down to one sentence: do everything in my power that I can to help you win, and the rest will take care of itself. Leadership is about people. And that if leaders focus on that, and it isn't just about people and giving them everything they want, that would be like a parent who just lets their kid run wild. It is about helping do the best for that person. In other words, helping that person win and grow and learn and develop. That is the core of what leadership is about to me.
Gosh, every business in the world should hire you.
I'm in. If you can make that happen, we're golden, I'm sure.
Oh, okay, people, call Dan. I know that from my end as a therapist in the States, my clients come in and tell me how miserable they are at their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel supported. They don't feel acknowledged. They don't feel validated, let alone the lousy money that they're making. Or maybe it's not too lousy, but they're worth a lot more and they deserve a lot more. And I have to help them through that. Well, what do you like to do? Do you want to start your own business? Or how do you want to try? And I want to help them adjust to their current circumstances so they don't get as stressed out when they're working in their position. And then we can explore other options and talk to them about what is your passion? What would you really want to do if you closed your eyes and could have anything you want, not monetarily, but if you could do and be and have anything, what would that look like?
See, and I assume that they would all just come and hang out with you. Like that is like whatever they can do to make that happen, and they're good.
Well,
they
can hang out with me for a couple of hours a week, perhaps.
Right. No, I think that's a great question. I think aiming at people's passion is really good. I find that in your specialty is getting them unstuck, and I'm guessing that you see some of what I see, which is that giving them a path helps calm them down.
Yes.
That feeling lost and spinning in the gray is the worst ever. It's a societal thing. One of the things I know in business is that around an election, I promise I won't dig there, but around an election, what you'll find is it actually, from a business standpoint, is almost entirely irrelevant who wins, because up until two or 3 weeks before the election, business will go as normal. A week after the election, business will go as normal. But for that 2 or 3 weeks, business is struggling almost across the board because everyone feels uncertain. And I find that's a pretty good parallel to our lives, that as long as we feel uncertain and unclear and we don't have a path and we don't know what's going on or where things are heading, that there's a huge amount of anxiety. And I encounter that with my clients every day.
Clarity, getting a vision.
And feeling like they have a way out.
Okay.
Right. That there's, if I feel like I'm in a hole, and I'm all alone and I'm 50 feet down in it and it's dark, it's a pretty terrible place to be. But if I look to my right and there's a door with some stairs, then I can open a door and start climbing. It's a little bit easier.
Really? And they haven't been able to see that. But you in your field and myself in the counseling field and in the consulting field, whether you're across the street or on the other side of the world, we can talk because of technology. There are no limits. Duh. We teach them where the door is.
We do.
We help them
that's our life.
plan.
I like to put it this way, that for when I'm speaking to a prospective client, I try to be very clear, because different coaches and consultants take different approaches. And my mindset is this: my job is to do everything I can to help dust off the tracks and help you understand which switches to throw. But you're the one who has to put the coal in the engine to move the train down the tracks.
Whoa. Whoa. All this cool stuff. I told everybody. You will learn something amazing today.
I just love helping people, and I like that you mentioned there's no limits. That's part of what led to the launching of my mastermind and my class, as opposed to just the one-on-one coaching, which is a lot of where I started. I always knew I wanted to do more, and the lack of limits and accepting that is a lot of what has allowed things to really grow and expand, and what has led to our fun upcoming trip as well.
Mm-hmm. Which is a wonderful segue for what we're going to be doing here. All right, so I know there will be some people that will be thrilled about what I'm about to share here.
I'm one of them, so.
So we're going to go back here for just a momento, and then we're going to go over here. I've got to move
Okay.
this over to get to the other tab. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. Ta-da!
Boom.
Here we go. Boom. Freedom Summit Asia. OMG.
Love it.
Love it. The most ambitious digital marketing summit in Asia. Okay, people around the world. Okay, people in Asia. Look at this. You've got to come. I think our friend Ricky is going to talk about live streaming some things. So
we're working on some details to see what's possible with the joyous internet in Manila.
Okay.
But we believe the answer is we believe so.
We believe so. So you and I are part of Freedom Summit Philippines. So
Yes.
We are going to be in Manila, Philippines, March 30th and 31st with our talks, helping people to know what's possible, helping people to learn that they can do anything, that they aren't stuck in where they are. And even if they start to believe that they can take a small step today and then another small step next week or next month, as they start to find where their door is and where the steps are leading them to success. That's what we're going to teach them, along with, oh my gosh, what? 38 other people.
Holy moly. Yes.
Holy moly is right. Let's see. I'm just going to click on Philippines and see where that takes us.
Yeah, we're going to have close to, it's right around 40 speakers between the 2 days.
Okay. If someone doesn't learn how to succeed after those 2 days, then they must be sleeping, because, but go to freedomsummitglobal.com. So that's the Philippines. And as you can all see, there's Malaysia and Singapore and Indonesia and Thailand. Oh my gosh.
I'll scroll down and show them you.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Hold on here.
We can't not show you off. There's Ricky.
Yes.
Ricky's
yes,
awesome.
Yes. Duh. Thank you. Ricky's awesome. He is a power of nature. Ricky is Ricky Shetty.
Yes, he is. And so is Darren.
I can't wait to meet him, and
Doug.
And Croy. Here you are. Ta-da, ta-da.
There we are. And then we're getting to you.
Well, we're getting there.
There's Scott.
Scott, the Dean of Blogonomics and Podology. We'll talk about reverse marketing. Sua. See, people, here I am. Ta-da.
Boom. Great
Boom. Picture. Thank you. Oh, how to live life without limits. Yes, I cannot wait to teach you all my story. I think it's interesting. So we'll see what you think to help you get unstuck. Anna, also from Canada. I think it's pronounced Milne. Anna, I hope I'm doing
I'm not going to correct you. I'll just say here.
That's easy. Tom Tate, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would think so. Tom's a pretty good guy.
Michelle Abraham.
Michelle's awesome.
Oh, I can't wait to meet you, Michelle. I can't wait to meet everybody.
All of these amazing people. And it just keeps going. There are, 20 some more that are on here. It's
unbelievable. Mitch, the man, the video, the media man.
He's
Mitch
the media
Carson.
man. You want to know how to get in the media? Mitch is your guy.
I cannot wait. That is going to be so much fun. Andrew, see, people, I'm telling you, you've got to come to this. And this dear person, I'm not even, I would so fracture this.
Avijataria?
Oh, thank you.
He goes by Avi. So
Avi. Okay. Well, I'm so glad you pronounced it.
I have no idea of how correct I was.
Okay.
But Avi, I got.
Warren, you will be there, I guess. And so.
Yep, and I think there are a couple more still to come that are being posted. But it's a lot of people. It's great content, and most importantly, it's making an impact in part of the world that is missing this. This will be the first digital nomad summit in the Philippines. And it's just so exciting to go and help. And we're gonna be serving people and helping people while we're there, and giving them a chance to really find freedom, which is what you and I are all about.
Yes, I'm going to teach them emotional freedom techniques on how to get unstuck. It's going to be fabulous. And everybody stay tuned, because this Freedom Summit Global, oh my gosh, Ricky and his team, we are going around the world. So this is being started in Asia, but it's going to be in how many continents are there?
All of them. All of them. All 7. We are our craziest one, I think, will be when we do the South American cruise down to Antarctica.
Okay, God.
I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you for the abundance to be able to go to all of these summits. I would have gone to the rest of them, but unfortunately I bought my ticket before Ricky added on the rest of the city. So, but I'll start here and I will continue. I'm so excited. So everyone around the world and in Asia, please do yourself a favor. Come to this summit. You will learn so much and your life will be changed forever.
It will. And we can all tell Harold to shut up.
Yeah, I'm going to stop sharing again.
While you're stopping sharing, I'll say this. I went and visited the Philippines a few months ago, and it was to meet Ricky, who we've talked about as a pretty amazing guy and a power of nature.
Yes.
I was connected with him through my friend Dan, who's a great guy as well. And once I met Ricky, I just wanted to connect with and spend more time around him. I also wanted to remove a self-imposed barrier. As much as we help other people find freedom, we find these little things in ourselves that are holding us back. And I had convinced myself that going all the way around the world was going to be really hard. And it wasn't. In fact, going around the world is not really a lot more difficult than flying from here to California. So there are a couple things you have to learn, but the difficulty level is not what we make it out to be. So yes. I would just challenge people to really consider, what are the barriers that are holding you back? And then call Joan to have her help you get unstuck from them.
Really. And stay tuned for my next course on Udemy, which is going to be emotional freedom techniques for fear of flying and traveling the world. Scott and I are going to film that one.
That's awesome.
So
that's really
the next
cool.
Course on Udemy.
Good.
What else would you like the world to know, Dan?
I just would like the world to know that each one of them matters, that leaders struggle with everything that everyone else does. So when you're looking at somebody else, try not to make an assumption that they're a perfect person or they've got it all under control. I have had deep conversations with people who run multi-billion-dollar companies who struggle with depression, and we don't talk about that. And I suppose that, I'm glad to share about services that I offer and things like that. But one of the most important messages, and I think speaking with you, it feels really appropriate to share. But one of the most important messages that I talk about is that leaders struggle, and we need to be comfortable, not ashamed. We need to bring that up and talk about it, and not
be vulnerable. And
yes,
if I can't help, now that you're on this path, tell everyone that yes, depression is real. Yes, anxiety is real, but it is treatable. And me being the holistic alternative guru that I am, medication is a part of it, but so is counseling, essential oils, good food, proper nutrition. So a lifestyle, exercise, it all contributes. So, but depression, anxiety, if somebody is suffering from a mental illness, it is treatable. You can live a fabulous life.
And it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Thank you.
Talk about it. I'm a leader. I struggle with depression. I have for years. I years ago attempted to commit suicide. And now I would tell you that I am one of the biggest advocates against. I think I am so incredibly grateful to be here, and that in those dark moments that choice didn't hold me enough to take me through. And I am just so grateful for the opportunity to be able to share and to help others. And I just want people to know that it's okay, and it's okay to talk about it, and you're not going to lose your following. You're not going to lose your business. People aren't going to judge you harshly. And the few that do, I don't need them. I want to be real and be authentic with people. And the fact is, authentic people are authentic enough to say that they struggle too. I make a ton of mistakes. I like to tell my clients, you sum up all the advice that I give you, most of it you can say is don't be a Dan. Don't do all the things that I did to learn the lessons that I learned. Instead, I'm here to be your shortcut. And
wow.
I just want to bring things out into the light and just walk out there. Like it's a thing, but it also doesn't have to be a thing that controls our lives.
Yes. Yes. Oh, thank you for disclosing that. Thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that with everyone.
Thank you.
I really want to validate that.
I appreciate it. I think it's probably the most public place I've ever said that, but it's but it's part of who I am. And that's, people ask me all the time, well, what would you do differently in your life? And I say the choices I've made have brought me on the path that I've been. And if I'm a big fan that choices are what create change, I'm thankful that the choices I've made have created change that I can be proud of, and have put me in a position to be able to impact others' lives and to help them fulfill their dreams and see that dreams are real. I have to think that if more leaders and more entrepreneurs truly understood and got that dreams were real, that the rest of that would be far less of an issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Amen. Including your website, is there any other way that people could get in touch with you, or is that the best way?
There are about 100 ways, but we'll stick to a couple. So Facebook, I'm on frequently, and everything's at Leaders Must Lead. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Okay.
YouTube, take your biggest. It's all Leaders Must Lead. You search for that, you're gonna find me. That's a good thing. And I would just put a piece out there. You asked me earlier how I help people, and from a practical standpoint, I do one-on-one coaching, and I'm glad to do that. That obviously doesn't scale a whole lot, right? There's only so many hours that I have. Although I've been training some others to really do a lot of what I do and be able to make that impact and expand. But the bigger push is to be able to help people in a truly affordable, connectable way. And that's what our mastermind was born out of. And that's what our Foundations of Success class were born out of. And both of those could make a really significant impact in people's lives for a super minimal investment compared to one-on-one coaching. Although I'm a fan of one-on-one, but both are great supplements.
Fantastic. So if anybody needs to contact you, plus I'm going to have all this information in the iTunes description. So ladies and gentlemen, please rate this in iTunes to increase listeners and viewership, because this is a fabulous podcast here. Dan is sharing fabulous information. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, it's joan@joankaler.com. My website is lifewithoutlimits.expert. So contact us so that we can help you.
We are here, right?
Yes, we are.
And if you want to email me, hey, I'm open to that too. dmcpherson@leadersmustlead.com. Bring it.
That works.
Rate this high. We want to see Joan move into the sky.
Oh, I love
it. That was a terrible bad joke, but it works.
Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for listening. Please share this with people. Please I want this to go viral. Okay. Thank you so much, Dan, for your time and your wisdom today. It's just been incredible.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really just appreciate the opportunity to connect. I love the audience that you're building. I love that you have a passion for people's hearts, and I'm grateful to be your friend and companion on this coming trip.
Oh, thank you so much. Bye. Bye-bye, everyone who's listening and watching. And don't forget, there are no limits to what you can achieve.